What's up guys, welcome back for another Yugioh Pro Duel video. Next match, Cross-Banlist Cup. Another match here in the top 8 playoffs, already the first match in the top 8 playoffs, as we have mentioned in the previous video. So Pendulum Magicians from 2017 versus, I think, the most recent deck in this year's Cross-Banlist Cup being Draco from 2018. So, well, a tough matchup for basically both these decks, right? Stay tuned for basically, I think, the end of the week big announcement coming. Definitely stay tuned for that. So anyway, so Pendulum Magicians, again, the deck doesn't need an introduction, definitely has a couple of main deck outs against the Floodgates from Draco, which is definitely the strength of the deck, like Rivalry of Warlords, not that great against Pendulum Magicians. Well, okay, you could stop their extra deck with a couple of Synchro plays, for example, but again, cards like Domain, not Domain, but you know, the Monarch Eruption, no, it's, you know which one I mean, the Skill Drain-like cards could basically stop the Pendulum deck in its tracks. Then again, you know, Pendulums do have access to main deck Disruption, the trap card, the chronograph trap cards, so it's definitely, or could be like an MVP in this matchup, or should be an MVP in this matchup, and of course Poison Violet Magician, not to forget. So, the thing is that going first is definitely, well, in case of Dracos, you definitely want to go first. Well, yeah, of course, because, well, Pendulums do have access, I think, to Abyss Dweller, and, you know, if you're playing against a deck that has the ability to vomit, like, let's say, double, or maybe a Stardust Dragon with Dweller, or Stardust Dragon with Tornado Dragon on its side of the field with Protection, and with Protection I mean the Chronograph Trap, then it's definitely a very strong opening. So as a true Draco player, definitely going first. Well, yeah, with the field spell, of course, and the multiple searches and the multiple draws, not to forget, Card of Demise is still quite of a broken card. So I opt to go for Stardust here. I think Stardust seems like an underrated synchro again against something like True Dracos because of the destruction and the pops, right? Protecting my own setup is very similar to, let's say, Pendulum Call, and of course Pendulum Call in combination with the Trap. With the Trap card, the Chronograph Trap card is definitely good. So the Rivalry of Warlord is flipped face up, and again, during the first duel here, I already felt that, you know, like Poison Violet Magician is going to be that one of the MVP, or should, you know, be very important to, first of all, getting rid of, well, it depends on the back row, but getting rid of my opponent's monsters and or the Floodgates. And if I'm already set up with multiple Pendulums in my extra deck, I can definitely shoot away, get rid of the Floodgates, right? Pop the Floodgates and then go for the huge Pendulum summon or whatever, you know, like an Ignister play. And go from there. So yeah, going first, and this is definitely a good opening hand. The Tornado Dragon going first, since again the trap card is in theory, or should be, my MVP. Especially with the, what is it called, the Star Time Magician? The Exceed? Forgot the name. Time Star Magician, yeah. Again, giving me the potential to disruption, you know, like getting rid of 2 cards from my opponent. I definitely want to protect the Tornado Dragon here, just in case. Getting rid of the opponent's back rows, maybe hitting the set, although that could be dangerous, not wanting to hit the true Draco trap cards, right? Or yeah, the true King trap cards, you know which one I mean. The field spell is always sweet, but him getting rid of my Chronograph Trap is okay, I guess. I do have an Astrograph Sorcerer still ready, again having the Exceed search as well, and of course the Ignister play ready. And you know, we still have that good old banned Pendulum Magician here in the extra deck, giving the extra search. First, search art the spell, and you know, you can just pop itself in the extra deck, or at least the scales. Put it in the extra deck, and then, you know, potentially go for the OTK with the double attack boost, or, you know, like half the attack from the opponent's monsters, whatever. But again, this is definitely more than enough to attack for a game. So game number 3, Draco's again going first, and my opening hand is okay. Again, my desired setup is get as fast as possible to the Poison Violet Magicians, and maybe Pendulum Call. I do have the, what is it called? Is it Duelist Alliance? Yeah, Duelist Alliance to search out the trap cards. Already had the Pendulum Sorcerer, but still there is the option of like multiple skill drains from the opponent, making the Pendulum Sorcerer, or, you know, shutting it down. There it is, the Monarch's Erupt. That's fine. Have 2 extra deck plays ready, but again, I think I have to follow up with the, you know, the Magician attack here to force out my what is called Poison Violent Magician to pop something phrase up, getting rid of the Monarch Syrup. That will eventually force out the Skill Drain, which, okay, I guess it's fine. Skill Drain blocks his monster searches also, so basically shutting down the advantage engine from True Draco. So I'm fine with that, definitely. And on top of that, let's not forget, I do have that sneaky trap card lurking in the background. And, you know, with Pendulum Magicians, and especially with the face-up Pendulum Graph of Ages, you know, like the Star Pendulum Graph, the spell on my side of the field, I'm not losing cards, getting the extra search, maybe the extra search from like a Pendulum Magician that I destroy, or a special summon if I destroy Black Fang, and of course a search with my continuous spell. So the trap card is definitely very important here in this particular matchup. So still 2 sets, but, you know, double Poison Violent Magician eventually luring out. Oh yeah, the Monarch Syrup again preventing the Harmonizing Magician from activating, but that's fine. Still have a couple of options here, and Beals actually comes in handy. I'm not really sure. Well, there is, yeah, there is indeed the Monarch Stormfort. Not really sure how many Stormfort there are in the True Draco deck. I think only one. I might be mistaken about that, but again, not give him one more turn, right? But again, my thought process back then was, I think I have the game right, because there's like no outs for True Draco against Beals, especially because of the already multiple skill drains gone and 20 cards banished face down. So yeah, 2-1. It's going good for Pendulum Magicians, especially, well, the first duel kinda blacked out, I guess, but was also quite unfortunate. So game number 4, again going first. I'm opening hand is, I think, good. Black Fang is fine. The Desire is giving me an extra option to work with, or 2 extra options. Having the Chronograph spell is definitely solid, giving me some extra advantage, and the potential Poison Violent Magician search. And yeah, Pendulum Call, same. Now, priority number 2 is getting to the trap, indeed, the Pendulum Graph trap. So there it is. I was able to search it out with Duelist Alliance. And yeah, the trap, especially because now both me and my opponent are under Pendulum Call, I can get rid of 2 cards from the opponent. And against a deck like True Draco, you can definitely snipe away or destroy their weak amount or low amount of monsters. So just lowering the pressure, I guess, from True Dracos. So return is fine, and again I was able to at least go for Stardust. I think that was a good move, you know, Stardust protecting my setup first of all, and just in case if the opponent is able to, you know, like have the diagram on the side of the field to give the extra attack boost or pump out bigger beaters to attack over the Stardust Dragon, I still have the Pendulum Graph trap to get rid of the field spell and maybe a monster, since again I think I was under the Pendulum Call effect, right? So yeah, anyway, set up the skills, and this should be game over. Yeah, the Raigeki is not going to help against something like Stardust, and now I should be able to pump out multiple big beat sticks and go for a game. But again, it's before this matchup I was like, well, it feels like 50-50, or maybe True Dracos having the slight advantage because of the floodgates. But then again, if I look at the Pendulum Magician deck, they do main deck, which is searchable, by the way, the Trap card, and let's not forget the Poison Violent Magician. Too easy to get through cards to get rid of the floodgates, and yeah, basically not, well, you're not losing advantage since this is Pendulum Mechanic Master Rule 3, and that just makes it a little bit more bonkers compared to True Draco. So okay, I think this was a good match. So eventually Pendulum Magician is moving on to the top 4, so the first deck here in the top 4. Next matchup there is still 1 duel left, by the way, an extra duel again, you know, to prevent spoilers. But next matchup will be the match below that, so we have Bang Long Turbo versus Blood. So, you know, like Reasoning Hero dot deck with Dark Magician of Chaos, Dimension Fusion, you know, the good stuff, hero shenanigans. So another duel, lost a game right, just to, again, prevent, well, giving away spoilers, I guess. Pendulum Magician going second, this is okay. Only having the Majesty's Maiden already getting a surge, it could be, well, that could be like a problem, or could be important, right? Giving the opponent an extra monster in the hands, potentially getting a tribute summon during their turn, getting rid of the Heritage, I believe the name is, to pop like the Chronograph spell or trap, that might be important. So definitely making a fast Stardust Dragon here, and Poison Violent Magician getting rid of the field spell, so now Stardust Dragon can attack over the Majesty's Maiden. That's fine, the True King's return is not that frightening, especially because, you know, like, their monsters are not being considered tribute summoned anymore, so no searches, etc. So yeah, whatever. Anyway, so having the Harmonizing Magician is fine. Stardust will return. And again, okay, Rivalry of Warlords. Okay, it's a small pain, I guess. But again, I have multiple options to get rid of it. I have the space, well, I have the Chronograph trap card to get rid of it. And now, if there is any response, again, I should be able to pump out multiple big monsters and eventually attack for game. So you can just start popping the Black Fang and Black Fang getting a Monster Reborn, I think, and dropping the Astrograph Sorcerer as well. Good old school Astrograph Sorcerer, and again, this is more than enough to attack for a game. So Pendulum Magician moving on. I think this was an okay matchup, but eventually Pendulum Magician, I think, is a deserved winner from this one. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.